Hey there! Today we're going to be talking about this pen. It's I think it's beautiful. This is the Benu Tribute, Echoes of Armenia. There's a lot to be said about this pen. First of all, it's in the tribute lineup. There are other tributes like this Darwin, another beautiful pen. This one is very special because they have made a couple different finishes that are hand painted. They're a bit more expensive, but I mean, they're hand painted by an artist. And I picked this one because I think it's beautiful. So I'm going to tilt the camera down so you can actually see the pen better, and I'll talk about it. Then I will do a writing sample and I'll talk about likes and dislikes. But for now, a very kind thank you to Kate of Benu for sending me this. They're not inexpensive pens, so I really appreciate it. Let's get started. Okay, here we go with the Echoes of Armenia by Benu. The typical Benu box, if you own a Benu, if you've watched a couple of reviews on this channel or other channels, the standard Benu box looks like that. This is a special Benu because it's hand painted and it gets a fancier box, which is quite nice. Some gold embossing, it looks really neat. It opens up with a little magnet, and then on the inside are a cartridge which goes there, and then you can pull it out with a little tab. That's quite nice. There is a booklet, warranty information, that sort of stuff, filling instructions, and then there is a cutout for the pen. Okay, cool box. Then we have, much more important of course, the actual pen, and I shall zoom in a bit, oops, sorry, so you can actually see this. I'll put it next to a Pilot Metropolitan, and I'll talk a little bit about the series. So the model is the Tribute, which is a newer model for Benu. They come in a standard lineup, so the Darwin, the Curie, for example, the Curie, that's $210. This is more expensive. This is $340 US, but bear in mind this is hand painted, and you do pay for that work. This is, and I'm going to read a little bit, and I now realize I forgot to look up the stress, so you have to forgive me. The Echoes of Armenia is a homage to Komitas, but I don't know if it's Komitas or Komitas or something, so please, someone who speaks Armenian, correct me. I will not be offended. I wanted to look it up and I completely forgot. My apologies. This was a sort of musician and I guess sort of musicologist who tried to preserve Armenian musical culture. The pen painting is largely inspired by his song Krunk, which I am assuming I mispronounced. Correct me there too, thank you. Which means the crane. And the crane as in the bird, not like a crane like, oh, we're building a building crane, like a bird crane, as a symbol of longing, resilience, and connection to the homeland. Then you see a lot of blue, red, and gold. Those are the national colors of Armenia, hand painted. And as I said, $340, but I mean, hey, it's a hand painted pen. I had wanted to ask, and I will ask a friend later, but there is an inscription on it in Armenian. I can't read it, so I'll have to ask a friend to translate. For now, let's have a look at the pen. I have reviewed a Tribute, the Darwin, before. Of course, it's the same model, but I mean, I do think we should spend some time on the painting here. Oh, and before I forget, fine, medium, broad nibs. Schmidt nibs on this one, I believe, and I want to say elastic and stub 1.1, 1.5, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm sorry, I have to double check that. Okay, let's look at the pen. So we have this beautiful blue, which is not painted. That is the, I'm assuming, acrylic or the resin that they use, but there is painting on it, and I think it looks really nice. Really nice detail, and it just looks very ornate. I really quite like it. On top you have this dimple, and then we have a fluted design for the cap, as you can see here. So it's not round, it has flutes. You can find them up there as well. That makes a very comfortable cap to grip when you uncap the pen. And it says Benu there at the bottom, which looks to be filled in with gold paint too. I like the blue, gold, blue, gold, blue. I think it looks very balanced. And then down here we have the inscription and more painting. I've always really enjoyed the Armenian alphabet. To me it looks really neat. I can't read it though, which is a shame. I am almost certain that this item here is a duduk, and the duduk is if I am right, and this is a duduk, it's an amazing musical instrument that is very profoundly tied to Armenian culture. Jivan Gasparian was a famous duduk artist. I want to say was. I thought he passed away, but I'm not fully up to speed on the duduk scene. If you've never heard a duduk, D-U-D-U-K, you should look it up. I've used a little bit for the open, what do you call that, like open source, copyright free for the intro to the video. The duduk is a wind instrument, and it has a timbre that's said to be closest to the human voice of all instruments. And the music is beautiful. There's obviously a rich cultural tradition to the duduk, but it's also quite ubiquitous in popular culture because a lot of movies use duduks on the soundtrack. So from the top of my head, I think 1997, Ronin may or may not be one of my favorite movies, but has duduk. Beautiful, haunting soundtrack. Gladiator, which is what, 2001? The second Dune movie features duduk quite extensively, and I think The Passion of the Christ has some duduk. It's amazing, and again, if you're not familiar with the duduk, you should look it up, and I'm going to bet you'll probably like it. So there you go. Blue, red, gold, national colors. At the bottom here, a crane. Remember, that's that song. And then here we have some cranes flying as well. I think it looks beautiful, and I love the color scheme. The red, blue, and gold to me works very, very well. Looks very exclusive. Pen opens up. You get a nice long section. These threads are not particularly sharp. Section tapers down, flares out a little bit, but I'll come back to that. Here we have the Schmidt nib, number 6 Schmidt nib, and this is a broad nib, and then in the bowels of the pen is a cartridge converter made by Schmidt, and they said on the website that these pens can also be eyedroppered. So if you like that, I would put some silicone grease on the threads of the section, so not these threads, but those threads, this is not blood, this is just ink, don't worry, I am unharmed, more or less. I did injure my thumb, but anyway, it's a cool pen, it's a good size, and it looks very, very attractive to me. Okay, let's see how the pen writes, and I'm using up the final bits of my Pelican paper, which I really have kind of disliked because it makes pens skip a bit more. Here is the Echoes of Armenia. This is a broad steel nib, and the ink is Mont Blanc. See, I haven't really had these pens skip, and that frustrates me because then people see that and they're like, oh, the pen skips a lot. Only on this paper. It's frustrating. This broad nib is definitely on the broad side of things, I would say. Pleasant, comfortable. Very nice. I like it a lot. Wetness, It's not exactly a gusher, but it is nicely tuned. As with some broad nibs, this has a slight natural stubbiness to it. You can see that the downstroke is a little wider than the side stroke. For those of you who enjoy such a thing, oh, I haven't done the, I'm so sorry. Reverse, I'll get to the line variation. Reverse writing is possible, gets a little bit scratchier, and I think it's going to run dry fairly quickly, but if you really need to, you can get out a couple words. Line variation, sorry about that. There certainly is some to be had. So that's quite interesting. I think I forgot to point out one thing. I'm sorry. It's a spring-loaded clip, which is very nice. Okay, well, there you have it. A very comfortable pen. Let's see what I like about it and what I dislike about it. Here we go. What do I like and what do I not like about this Benu tribute, Echoes of Armenia? I think there is a lot to be loved. The hand painting, to me, works. I find it very attractive. Blue, red, and gold, national colors of Armenia. I think it works very well. The artwork is beautiful, and I will say, I cannot read the script. I've always found Armenian typography, the alphabet they use, beautiful. It looks really nice. So I'm going to have to dig some more and ask Armenian friend what the writing means. Anyway, I think it's great. Artistry costs money. The regular tributes are $210. This one is $340. You're buying a hand-painted product and you are going to pay a premium for that. I don't think this is absurd. I don't think this is excessive. I think this is very acceptable because it's like buying a piece of artwork. If you were to buy a painting, you would also pay money for that because it's work that an artist made, right? Having said that, I understand it's expensive, especially the basic configuration with a stainless steel nib. I know, I get that, but I do see the value given the quality of the artwork. The symbolism is beautiful. I think the pen is a wonderful shape. I really like this tribute model. There are flutes on the cap which make it very comfortable to hold when you uncap it. To me, this is a pen that feels special. The regular tribute, this is the Darwin, the tribute Charles Darwin, is wonderful, and I love that pen. There is something extra special about the hand-painted version. More expensive, but it also feels very exclusive. It feels really nice. So that's something I really enjoy. Anything I don't like about it? Yes, there is one thing, and it's surprised me a little bit. I have found, as I was writing with it, that my fingers kind of, I'll put my thumb out of the way so you can really see, my fingers kind of slipped over the end of this section towards the nib a bit. And I thought that's weird because, again, Benu sent me 2 tributes. With the Darwin, I didn't experience that. And indeed, the Darwin has more of a lip. Now, I'll try to show you this side by side so you can actually see it. I don't know if I'm imagining this. I'm pretty sure I'm not. It looks to me like the Darwin, which is that brown one, this one. Sorry, I can't see my screen if I block with my hand, so I have to move around it a bit, otherwise I can't see what I'm showing you. The Darwin looks to me like it has a bit of a bigger lip. And indeed, that one did not slip. Now, is it a huge issue? Not really. I mean, I like to think that my motor skills are still such that I can write and don't go and then the whole pen like flies from my hand. It's not like that. But there is a little bit less of a flare and your fingers may slide a little farther down till they get quite close to the nib. It's the way it is. And it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's interesting to me that the Echoes of Armenia has that and the Darwin does not, given that they're both tributes. So there seems to be a small difference in the shape of the section. The hand-painted versions, I'm pretty sure, came first. So I wonder if they've made slight changes to that model. In any case, it's really not a big deal. I just thought I'd point it out. I think I have had my say, likes and dislikes, etc. A very kind thank you to Benu for sending me the pen. I really appreciate it. It's very kind and generous. That's all there's to it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Oh, before we go, which one do you prefer? I would like to hear in the comments, the Darwin or the Echoes of Armenia. Just curious. Thank you. Bye.